Now let's move on to chapter number 7, which is public function and security. Now let's modify feed and multiply to take our cooldown time into account. Looking back at this function, you can see we made it public in the previous lesson. An important security practice is to examine all our public and external functions and try to think of where users might abuse them. Remember, unless these functions have a modifier like on the owner, any user can call them and pass them any data they want to. Examine this particular function. The user could call the function directly and pass in underscore target DNA or species they want. This doesn't seem very game like we want them to follow our rules. On closer inspect, this function only needs to be called feed on kitty. So easiest way to prevent this exploit is to make it internal. Currently, feed multiply is a public function. Let's make its internal uh, so that the contract is more secure. We don't want user to be able to call this function with any DNA they want. So let's see. Let's change it to internal. Let's make fill multiply to our cooldown time into account. First, after we look my zombie, let's add require statement that checks is underscore ready and pass my zombie to it. This way the user can only execute this function if a zombie's cooldown time is over. Okay. Okay. We've add the condition here. Require. At the end of the function, let's call underscore trigger cooldowns my zombie to the feeding trigger so that the feeding triggers the zombie's cooldown time. Here it is. Trigger cooldown. Here it is. It says the cooldown time. And here we are checking that the time is met to call this function again or not. Here. So let's check the answer. Yes, it's correct. So let's move on to chapter number 8.